Ladies and gentlemen, today we are looking at Sokha's case through a different lens. Not only politics, not only law, not only power, but morality. Because sometimes a nation does not only need a court to decide a case, a nation also needs conscience to understand what the case means. Sokha's case has become one of the most sensitive political cases in modern Cambodia. To the government, it is about national security, sovereignty, and foreign interference. To critics, it is about political control, opposition suppression, and the shrinking space for democracy. But today, let us ask a deeper question. How would the four divine virtues answer this case? The first virtue is metta, loving kindness. Metta does not ask, who is my side? Metta asks, how do we prevent hatred from becoming the language of politics? In political conflict, it is very easy to turn opponents into enemies. One side says they are traitors, another side says they are dictators. And once those words become normal, the nation begins to split in the heart before it splits in the street. Metta reminds us that even disagreement must not destroy human dignity. A government can protect national security without humiliating its opponents. An opposition can demand justice without planting hatred in society. Citizens can disagree strongly without losing compassion for one another. So Metta's answer is clear. A country cannot heal when politics teaches people to hate each other. The second virtue is karuna, compassion. Karuna asks, who is suffering here? Sokha suffers, his family suffers, his supporters suffer, but also the nation suffers when people no longer trust the justice system. The court may issue a sentence, but if many citizens feel the process is not fair, then the wound does not close. It goes deeper. Compassion does not mean ignoring the law. Compassion does not mean there should be no accountability. But compassion means the law must not lose its humanity. If national security is truly the goal, then the nation must also protect its moral health. Because a country is not only protected by soldiers, borders, and courts, a country is also protected by trust, fairness, and the belief that justice is not only for the powerful. Karuna's answer is this: justice without compassion may punish one person, but it can wound an entire nation. The third virtue is mudita, sympathetic joy. This may be the most difficult virtue in politics. Mudita means being able to rejoice in another person's success. But in politics, another person's success often feels like your threat. When an opposition leader gains support, the ruling side may feel afraid. When the ruling party wins, the opposition side may feel bitter. But mudita teaches something powerful. Another person's popularity is not automatically your destruction. In a healthy political system, public support can move. People can choose. Leaders can win trust, lose trust, regain trust, and compete again. That is not a national danger. That is political life. A strong leader should not fear another voice becoming strong. A strong party should not fear competition. A strong nation should not fear choice. Mudita asks leaders to look at public support not as a weapon, but as a responsibility. If people support someone, listen. If people disagree, learn. If another side gains momentum, improve yourself instead of destroying the arena. Mudita's answer is this: a nation grows stronger when leaders can accept that trust may belong to more than one side. And the fourth virtue is upekkha, equanimity. Upekkha is balance. It is calm judgment. It is the ability to stand in the middle of anger, fear, nationalism, pressure, and propaganda, and still ask, what is true? For the court, upekkha means independence. For the government, upekkha means national security must not become political revenge. For the opposition, upekkha means resistance must not become recklessness. For citizens, upekkha means do not let emotion blind your judgment. This is especially important in a case like Sokha's because people do not see only the legal file. They see history. They see power. They see fear. They see foreign influence. They see past trauma. They see the future of democracy. And when people carry so many emotions, truth becomes harder to see. That is why upekkha matters. Upekkha does not mean silence. It does not mean weakness. It does not mean accepting injustice. Upekkha means standing firm without being poisoned by anger. It asks us to examine both sides carefully. Was there real evidence? Was the process fair? Was the punishment proportionate? Was the law applied equally? Was national security truly protected, or was political competition removed? Upekkha's answer is this: when politics becomes emotional, justice must become even more balanced. So what do the four divine virtues tell us about Kem Sokha's case? Metta says, do not turn opponents into enemies. Karuna says, do not let punishment destroy human dignity. Mudita says, do not fear another side's popularity. Upekkha says, do not let power, fear, anger, or loyalty bend justice. This is not only a message to the government, it is not only a message to the opposition, it is a message to the whole society. Because when a political case becomes this big, everyone is tested. Leaders are tested by how they use power. Courts are tested by how they apply justice. Opposition figures are tested by how they struggle. Citizens are tested by how they think, speak, and judge. The four divine virtues do not erase the law. They do not replace the court. But they ask the court, the state, and the people to remember something deeper. Power without metta becomes cold. Law without karuna becomes harsh. Victory without mudita becomes fearful. Judgment without upekkha becomes dangerous. And perhaps that is the greatest lesson. A nation becomes strong not when it silences conflict, but when it handles conflict with moral courage. A nation becomes stable not when everyone is afraid, but when people trust the system. A nation becomes sovereign not only when it resists foreign control, but when its own people believe they have a voice in their future. So tonight, the question is not only what happened to Kem Sokha. The deeper question is, can Cambodia handle political conflict with compassion, fairness, dignity, and balance? Because if it can, then the country does not only win a case, it wins a future.